So, hi Claire, what can we do for you today?
Just a little bit worried, doctor. Myself and my husband, we've been trying to get pregnant for the last about a year or so, and nothing's happened yet, and I'm a little bit worried about it.
Okay. And just tell me, I suppose, like, have you any other children, or have you ever been pregnant before?
No, I don't have any children and never been pregnant.
Okay. And is there anything you're particularly worried about? Anything that's in your mind particular about it, or just worried in general?
Well, I'm just worried in general, I suppose, because it's been over a year, and I thought maybe, I'm not sure, but I thought maybe by this stage I should be pregnant.
Okay. So you've been trying for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I suppose we might just ask a few kind of general questions about your general health and maybe about your partner's health, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have you any other medical problems? You're not on any medications or anything like that?
No, I don't really have any medical problems, and I'm not on any medications.
Okay. And were you on the pill at any point?
Yeah, I was on Yasmin for a while, yeah.
Okay. And how long ago did you stop that?
About, I suppose at this stage, probably about 18 months ago.
Okay. And what about your periods? Did they come back fairly quickly? Are they regular? What are they like?
Yeah, I suppose after about 6 weeks, they kind of came back to normal.
Okay, so quite quickly then.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And at the moment, would you know, like, how long is your cycle?
Yeah, I've been very careful about kind of counting it, so it's every 30 days.
30 days.
Regular.
Okay,
yeah.
so very regular. And you're not getting very heavy periods or painful or anything like that?
No, nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay, great, very good. And I suppose just in terms of other gynecological things, you've never had any gynae surgeries or had to go and see a gynecologist for anything or anything like that?
No, never.
No. Okay, good. And you said you've never been pregnant?
No.
Good. Okay. And then your partner, husband, boyfriend, or
husband?
Yeah. Okay. Is he well? He have diabetes or any other medical problems?
No, he doesn't have any medical problems that I know about. No.
Okay. And he's not on any medication?
No, he's not. No.
Good. Okay. Have you done much research into this? Have you looked into it much, or?
Yeah. So I suppose I did a bit of reading around the internet, and things about polycystic ovaries kind of came back, and I was wondering, would I maybe have had something like that? Is that maybe why I'm not getting pregnant?
Okay. That's a good thought, all right. Is there anyone in your family with polycystic ovaries? No. Okay. And you're saying that your periods are nice and regular.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Difficulty having babies can be a common enough thing. We might just check a few things. So maybe we just do a quick examination. We check your weight and your height, and maybe just do a quick pelvic examination as well, to make sure there's no problems there doing that. Actually, before we do that, I've just forgot to ask you: do you drink alcohol at all?
Well, like anyone else, a few drinks a weekend.
Okay. How much is a few?
Maybe 5-6 drinks.
Okay.
On one night.
Okay. And what about smoking? Do you smoke?
No, I don't smoke.
Don't smoke. Very good. And your partner, would he smoke actually?
Yeah, he does smoke.
He does. Okay. And would he drink much alcohol?
No, not particularly. About the same as myself.
Okay. Very good. Okay. So we might just do that examination now.
Examination's normal. BMI is 33.
Okay. So did a good examination there and checked you out. So everything is normal from a pelvic point of view. I suppose the only thing that's a little bit abnormal would be your weight. So your BMI, so that's your body mass index, is 33, which is in the kind of higher level than we would want it. We would want it to be, and that can impact on your ability to get pregnant.
Oh, right, okay.
So that would definitely be a first step, and things to do would be losing weight.
Yeah, I just find it very difficult.
Yeah. What have you tried before? What have you tried?
Things like Weight Watchers, but never very successful. Very difficult to keep it up.
Okay, yeah, it is hard. It is hard. It is difficult, but it's doable as well. People manage it all the time, and I suppose now you have a good motivating reason to do it, because we know for sure that being overweight can reduce your chances of getting pregnant. Other simple things to try are things like cutting down on alcohol, and for your partner, getting rid of the cigarettes, and similarly cutting down on alcohol as well. There are certain tests that we do.
Yeah, I'd like some tests done.
Yeah.
I thought there might be maybe I'm not ovulating, or is there any tests that can be done for that?
There is actually. Why are you worried about the ovulation? Did you use any of those ovulation kits or anything like that? Or?
I did use them for a while, and it did say that I was ovulating, but they were a bit expensive, so I stopped buying.
Okay, right. Okay. There are a series of blood tests that we can do. So there's one that we do, and it all depends on the days in the cycle when we do them. So there's one that we do on day 21. So if day 1 is the first day of your period, then we just count forward to day 21, and we do a progesterone blood test on that day. And then there's other ones that we do on day 3, just to look at various different hormones. So that's certainly something that we could go go ahead and organise. There's other tests then that we can organise here in general practice, so things like getting an ultrasound scan done. Those are kind of simple things that we can do.
Okay.
More kind of advanced tests, then you'd have to go and see like a fertility specialist, like so a gynaecologist. But I think we'll start with the simple things, and definitely simple things are having a look at the weight, trying to reduce that, getting your partner to get rid of cigarettes and alcohol, and then we can do those simple blood tests. The other test that we can do in general practice is actually one for your partner, and that's a semen analysis. And that's just something that has to be done as part of every fertility investigation. We just look at everything, so we need to look at him as well. Is that something, do you think he'd be open to doing?
He's not too worried about it. So, well, maybe if I started off with a test for me and then see what they show, and then maybe get the test for him after.
And that's reasonable. Has he any children actually with anyone else?
No, he doesn't.
Okay, good. Okay, so I think that's where we are. Are there anything else you want to ask or any questions?
I was just wondering, like, what do you think at this stage are my chances of getting pregnant at this stage?
Okay, so you've been trying for 1 year.
Just over a year.
Just over a year. Okay, so your chances are actually quite good still. We don't call somebody infertile until you've been trying for 2 years. So the average amount of time it takes people to get pregnant is 8 months. That's an average, so some people will be more, some people will be less. And there's every chance that you will get pregnant. I wouldn't be kind of writing you off in any way, shape or form. But I think the simple things are important. The other thing that's very important is to have regular intercourse. So sometimes people get a little bit too sort of pressured in the whole situation, and you're actually better to just do it. The advice is, say, 3 times a week, have intercourse 3 times a week.
Okay.
My advice would be to just try and forget about trying to get pregnant for a while, because sometimes the stress of it can actually stop you getting pregnant. So if you can say, look, we're going to get all the tests done and everything like that, and I'm just going to forget about it and you know, just enjoy yourself basically. So that's a good kind of way to look at it, I think, in the first instance. Okay, so I suppose just to summarise, so we're going to you're going to work on the weight and the alcohol, and you're going to get your partner to stop smoking, and then we're going to arrange some blood tests, and we might do an ultrasound scan, and when we get the results of those, we might do the semen analysis, and then we'll see about referring on to the
do you think, you know,
gynaecologist.
like we have some money, but we wouldn't have that much money. I suppose we just got a new house and things like that. Would it be expensive, you know, going for fertility treatment, or if I needed IVF or anything like that? Is there any ways to do that?
Yeah, IVF is expensive if you go privately. Now there are some public options, but they are, I won't lie to you, they're difficult to get at. So yes, it is expensive, but there are ways around it. I think the Harry unit in Rotunda has an option. I do know that they spend most of the time with people who have kind of cancer and that kind of thing, who find it difficult, who will have a definite problem. So that's the reason it's difficult to access that. But there are options there. Hopefully you won't need IVF. And we'll be able to resolve this before you need to resort to that. But we'll keep a little eye on you. Anything else you want to ask or anything?
No, that's everything, Doctor. That's everything.
Okay, all right.
Thanks very much.
We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.